into your big blue eyes and start to quiver and shake. I get a strange sensation when you walk by me and strut around. You make me crazy.
Hey everybody, this is SPACE FREHLEY and you're listening to No Good Music, this great podcast that I was just on. I love it. I'll see you later. Ack.
I want to talk about how many guitars you own,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't have to be long. You know what you're going to
Yeah.
tell me. Yeah, and I'm particularly I can't talk right. Interested in that smoking guitar that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you have.
I can demonstrate it for you if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start with that one. So this is the smoking guitar. There it is.
Nice. Yes.
Okay, so you'll see on the headstock, it does say Gibson and it has Ace's face. It is not a real Gibson. This is what they call a Chibson. And
Yes,
for
the
those of you
Chibson. I've heard of
For
them.
those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a Chinese-made Gibson
Yeah.
knockoff. Okay,
But they look good, you know.
they look wonderful,
Yeah.
and actually, it plays pretty good too. It's not the best playing guitar that I have, but it looks the part, and it's very pretty. For the $265 I paid for it, it's pretty
Really?
good.
That's
Yes.
it?
That's it. Now I've had a lot of work done to it. I probably put another $300 of work
Yeah.
just into making it better playable. New pickup, new tuners, set up fret level on, that costs money. And because this is the cheap guitar and it looks great, this is the one that is my smoker. So behind this mirror plate back here, the whole guitar's been routed out and it has the smoking unit
hmm
in it, which cost a bit of money to have that done as well too. But Jim Cara built this for me, the smoking portion of it, and Jim Cara is the same guy who did all of Ace's smoking guitars.
Wow. Wow.
So the guy who did Ace's guitars did
Yeah.
mine. So I genuinely feel like I have one of Ace's smokers.
Yeah.
And literally, if you turn this knob right here, turn it once, the light turns on,
hmm
turn it again, the smoke comes out.
Oh,
There
wow.
it is. Boom.
Love that.
So that's literally what Ace would have in one of his guitars.
hmm Yeah.
So that's the smoking guitar. And
Now,
it's
what makes it smoke? Like, or is that a
you know what?
secret?
It's the secret sauce. What can I say? Right. So that's the smoker. Everybody knows that Ace was famous for the 3 pickup cherry sunburst Les Paul custom, which is what this is. Now this is a real Gibson. This is
Okay.
this is a custom shop 2004 Les Paul custom from their plant in Memphis, Tennessee. The custom shops are made in Memphis. The production models are made in Nashville. So this would have came from the Memphis factory. And it's this guitar, 2004. So this is 22 years old.
hmm
And I got it maybe around 2012. When I got it, it didn't have the middle pickup.
Uh-huh.
And so I had to have it routed in and placed in. And, because I wanted it to look like Ace's, so,
Yeah.
it's Ace would play this very guitar if he had to. It's the real deal. It's fantastic. So there you have. I use this one. This is my main guitar for shows.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Nashville next month.
Cool. This
So
one
maybe
is
you said there's a Gibson factory there? I
is
don't
a
know.
Gibson factory in Nashville. Yes.
Can
right
you
off the
tour it?
highway.
Do you know?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. I've never been there, but I believe you can tour it. Yes.
Because I've been
So
to
this
Martin,
one-
Martin Guitar?
Yeah, it's in Bethlehem, PA.
Yeah, it's in Nazareth.
Nazareth. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's weird because I had lived down the street from there because I'm not far from Pennsylvania. I'm like Western Jersey, Central.
Yeah. Cool.
And I lived literally in Lower Nazareth and never went there until I moved back to New Jersey. And my friend who lives in Bethlehem, he's like, "Hey, we need to go take a tour."
Yeah.
So finally, that was a couple years ago.
This one is a backup to the Cherry Sunburst, and this is the best guitar I own. This is a 58 Les Paul
Oh,
reissue,
wow.
custom shop Les Paul, 2011. So it's 15 years old. I am the only owner of this guitar. I've owned it since I bought it brand new, and it's just a fantastic. So Ace would play a 59 reissue. This is a 58 reissue.
Okay.
And the only difference between a 59 and a 58 is that a 59 has a flame maple top, which makes it much more decorative and pretty, whereas a 58 has a plain maple top. So there's no fancy grain on it. But it's a fantastic guitar. And the reason I love this one, and the reason I went with this color, this is Tobacco Burst, is because Ace played a Tobacco Burst Les Paul special, or a Les Paul Deluxe back in 1973. Okay. When Kiss got signed and they got their advance, the first thing Ace did was buy a 1973 Les Paul Deluxe, same color, but he put the cream pickups in his. But the last 10 years, he was using a Lemon Burst 59. Well, this is a Tobacco Burst 58. So,
he had
close enough in my book, you know.
He had a reissue though, or did he have the original, like 59?
Well, he did have the original at one time.
Okay.
And he sold it many years ago.
Oh, okay.
40 years ago. In fact, I knew the guy who owned it for a little while, and then he wound up selling it. But what Gibson did was they took that 59 of his, the original one, and made a run of replicas of them.
Yeah.
That's the one he was playing.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then some of the others you see on the wall, the one on the very end is a blue Epiphone Les Paul, which I use for talk. I use that for Talk to Me because it's tuned at Open G. And those right now are the 4 guitars I take to Space Frehley shows. I would like to implement, if I can someday, a light up Les Paul like you use in New York Groove, but you're talking a lot of money for that. So
or maybe someday you'll be able to,
when the budget allows.